Excellencies, distinguished delegates, this session is also being held via an e-conference platform called Kudo. You will be able to turn on your microphone and camera only when your request to speak has been submitted and accepted through the platform. We also welcome participants joining us via YouTube. And now I would like to hand over the floor to His Excellency Carl Kendrick Tiuchua, Chair of the 9th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development, to proceed with the session of the forum.
Thank you very much. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the meeting is called to order. We will now resume in this forum this afternoon with Agenda Item 5, Adoption of the Report of the Forum. I have the pleasure to present to you the draft report of the 9th Asia-Pacific Forum for Sustainable Development, as contained in the document ESCAP/RFSD/2022/L.2. As you know, the Annex Chair Summary captures the deliberation of the forum. As it is not a negotiated document, it is open only for comments related to factual correction and will not be discussed now. If there are such needs for correction, delegates are kindly requested to contact the Secretariat. An addendum to the Chair Summary captures the priorities for actions identified in the SDG profiles that were discussed during the parallel roundtables. As you can see the draft on the screen, may I propose that we go through the text of the draft report with the aim of adopting it. We will now review the draft report 5 paragraphs at a time. We begin with the first to the 5th paragraph. Are there any comments on paragraphs number 1 to 5 as shown in the screen? As I see no comment, paragraphs 1 to 5 are adopted. Let us now go then to paragraphs 6 to 10.
Delegates were just communicating with the chair in Philippines, alerting that there is a comment. Thank you.
Is there a comment on paragraphs 1 to 5 or 6 to 10? Secretariat?
There is a comment from the Russian delegation on paragraphs 1 to 5, please.
Okay, I recognize the distinguished delegate from Russia.
Благодарю вас, господин председатель. Во-первых, я призываю председательствующего и секретариат внимательно следить за залом и смотреть, поднята или нет табличка у делегации. Это первое. Во-вторых, по пункту 5 у нас не комментарий, поскольку мы не согласуем и не переговариваем документ. А у нас действительно, как вы просили, фактологическая поправка. Поправьте меня, если я не прав. В том варианте доклада, который сейчас перед нами, на английском языке, в параграфе 5, в 3-й строчке числится «The Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations». Да. И не указано имя. Ну, это по меньшей мере невежливо. Вот фактологическая поправка. Did you get my remarks? Фактологическая поправка. The Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. Дальше должно быть очевидно указано имя. Насколько я понимаю, это Амин Мохаммед. Спасибо.
So,
Thank you very much to the delegation from Russia. We take note of the comment and will request the Secretariat to reflect it. We shall now move to, as discussed a while ago, paragraph 6 to 10. Before us is paragraph 6 to 10. Are there any comments? I recognize the distinguished delegate from Thailand.
Thank you very much, Chair. If the name of DSG Amina is taken note, so I think Vice Presidents of ECOSOC should also be named as well in the document.
Thank you very much. We have a proposed amendment from the distinguished delegate from Thailand. Is there a consensus on the amendment? I see no objection. I declare the amendment carried and adopted by this forum. Are there any other comments on paragraph 6 to 10? As I see no comment, the paragraph 6 to 10 as amended are adopted. We shall now go to paragraphs 11 to 15. Are there any comments on paragraphs 11 to 15? As I hear no comments, paragraphs 11 to 15 are hereby adopted. We shall now go to paragraph 16 to 20. Are there any comments on paragraph 16 to 20? As we hear no comments, paragraph 16 to 20 are hereby adopted. We shall now proceed to the final set, paragraphs 21 to 25. Are there any comments on paragraphs 21 to 25? As I see no comments on paragraphs 21 to 25, the paragraphs 21 to 25 are hereby adopted. Secretariat, let us go back to the comment raised by the delegation, distinguished delegation from Russia. Are there any comments on the proposed amendment or comment from the distinguished delegate from Russia? May I recognize the distinguished delegate from Russia again?
Благодарю вас, господин председатель. Бога ради, извините меня за то, что я взял снова слово. И у нас нет ни малейшего желания заниматься вылавливанием блох. Мы не ведем речи о комментариях. Поскольку мы сейчас принимаем документ, и мы вносим туда factual corrections, if needed. Поэтому мы, собственно, посчитали правильным упомянуть необходимость указания имен. Потому что в одном случае имя министра иностранных дел Таиланда указано, а имя исполнительного секретаря комиссии Амиды Арлишабаны не указано. Точно так же не было указано имя и Амины Мохаммед. То есть это фактические поправки. Спасибо.
Thank you very much. May I recognize, or I would rather like to request the Secretariat to take the floor at this point.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor. And apologies for the slight delay. We're kind of coordinating here with a number of colleagues. We have checked, and editorial has informed us that in reports, staff and officials of the United Nations are not mentioned by name, only by their title. It took us a little back and forth to just clarify this. So we do not need the names for the Deputy Secretary General or for other United Nations officials. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretariat, for the clarification. Is the delegate from Russia satisfied with this clarification?
Да, конечно. Если есть определенная практика, нам казалось, что это невежливо, но пусть будет так.
Thank you very much. May I now recognize the distinguished delegate from Thailand?
Thank you very much. But in the case of the president of ECOSOC, as we have many of the vice presidents, so is it would be appropriate to mention the name in the documents or not? I just need a clarification for that.
Thank you very much. May I request the Secretariat to address both the comments or questions raised by Russia and Thailand?
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor. We will find out in the case of the Vice President of ECOSOC to the distinguished delegate from Thailand, and we'll make the editorial changes that are required in this. We'll also double check again to make sure that this is true. And these are editorial matters which will be taken care of, I can assure you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretariat. As we have reviewed all the paragraphs of the report, I propose that the draft report be adopted with the editorial changes to be taken care of by the Secretariat. Are we all in agreement on this point? Distinguished delegates, as I see no views to the contrary, I declare this report adopted. This concludes the review of the report. The report, including the chair summary, will be posted online on the 31st of March 2022 and will be open for comments only on factual errors until the 7th of April 2022. The report will be conveyed to the 78th session of the Commission in May and to the High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, let us now move to the closing. I now have the honor to invite Ms. Alicia Bana to deliver her closing remarks.
Excellency, Mr. Carl Kendrick Tiu Chua, Chair of the Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, today we come to the close of the 9th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. Taking this opportunity, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all participants for your active contribution and engagement, making the forum a productive one that provides guidance and policy recommendation for follow-up and review. The vibrant discussions over the last 4 days have enriched our thoughts through lessons learned, good practices shared, challenges identified, solutions and policy options being recommended. Through participation from multi-stakeholders, governments, parliamentarians, CSOs, private sectors, UN system, this forum demonstrates the value of a holistic, whole-of-society approach. This approach ensures no valuable input from any stakeholder would be missed for the deliberations at the forthcoming high-level political forum on sustainable development in July. In this forum, we heard strong calls for putting cross-cutting emphasis on access to vaccine for all, universal social protection and healthcare, access to equal education for all, gender equality and empowerment of women and girls, and low-carbon resilient societies, just to name a few. These priorities have been elevated significantly by the COVID-19 pandemic and the worsening climate change situation. At the same time, we have also heard ideas for solutions to our common challenges. They range from leveraging opportunities from digitalization and innovation to promoting gender-responsive policies and budgeting, increasing domestic resource mobilization, carbon pricing, promoting green enterprises, and expanding clean and climate-smart infrastructure, among many others. We must also be mindful of the capacity and financial resource constraints that prevail in many countries and within marginalized communities. This calls for more support, financial and non-financial, to those countries and groups so that they are in a better position to address the development challenges and regain momentum for achieving the goals. Although we are diverse in groups, it is clear that we have a common agenda for sustainable development. We need to take our commitment to advance the sustainable development goals to the next level with more concrete plan, actions, and solutions. These are the responsibility of all of us, all stakeholders, to have meaningful and tangible impacts. In closing, I would like to extend my deep appreciation to our chair and vice chair for effectively leading the forum to a successful conclusion. The in-person participation of the Deputy Secretary General shows the high-level commitment of the United Nations family to our common goals. We, the UN family, stands ready to work with all stakeholders to move the 2030 agenda forward in our region. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Executive Secretary. Excellencies, distinguished guests, we have reached the end of our program and the close of the 9th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. These past few days have been marked by an active and engaged exchange of ideas and experiences on our individual and collective efforts to advance the cause of sustainable development in the midst of efforts to build back better from the COVID-19 pandemic. Although the region and the rest of the world are still in the process of picking up the shattered pieces of society and the economy left in the wake of the pandemic, the deadline for the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals continues to draw near. It is worth mentioning that the SDGs are not just a set of targets, but a commitment future generations will hold us accountable for. The SDGs are aspirational and ambitious for a reason. We must set the highest standards for the future we want. The work ahead of us is immense, but the rewards we reap in the form of a better world are far greater. Your active participation in this forum reaffirms our collective resolve and underscores our desire to achieve a sustainable future and to bring prosperity to all. Our discussions have brought to light the collective realization that our goals are within our grasp once we are able to harness the power of technology and partnerships. At the height of the pandemic, we continue to connect and collaborate with each other as many of our activities have moved online. Digital technology has made it possible for business to continue, albeit not as usual, while the whole world struggled to adapt to the new normal. Although strict measures such as lockdowns have kept us physically apart, digital technology became a bridge that closed the physical distance. While the pandemic accelerated the adoption and integration of digital technology across different facets of work and life, it has also magnified the gaping digital divide that continues to exist. Digital technology is a powerful enabler in achieving the SDGs. However, in order for us to unleash its full potential and benefit from the digital dividends, there is a need to close the digital divide. Partnerships across all sectors will be critical towards achieving this end. Initiatives aimed at building and strengthening people-to-people, intersectoral, and regional linkages foster an enabling environment for a sense of community and a spirit of collaboration to thrive. These connections encourage the exchange of technology and ideas that have the power to manifest transformational change and to better equip us in confronting global challenges. The existential challenges we are confronted with, such as poverty, hunger, climate change, and inequality, transcend culture, economic status, and geography. These challenges affect us all and therefore require our collective actions and concerted efforts. This forum only marks another chapter in our journey towards achieving the future we want. As we march towards 2030 and beyond together, let us continue working together for a sustainable future for the people, the planet, and for lasting peace. Madam Executive Secretary, on behalf of my Vice Chairs and myself, let me reiterate our sincere appreciation for the honor bestowed upon us to lead this forum. I also wish to extend my gratitude to the Secretariat for its effective organization and servicing of this forum, and recognize the work of interpreters, conference management, security, and all those from the Secretariat who worked behind the scene to make this hybrid session a memorable and successful one. With this, I hereby close the 9th Asia-Pacific Forum on Sustainable Development. Thank you. I now ask the Secretary of the Forum to make housekeeping announcements.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me the floor. I would just like to remind delegates if they could please take a few minutes' time to complete the evaluation questionnaire that I mentioned yesterday. There should be a QR code coming up on the screen and a short bit.ly link which you can enter. Your feedback over the last years has certainly been very valuable and informed our preparations for this session, and we'd like to benefit from your comments for the next session. All of the sessions of this forum have been recorded, and they will be put up on the website of the meeting after the meeting. We'll also be updating the website over the coming week to make all statements and recordings available. Last but not least, I'd appreciate if participants who are physically could, when you leave the room, ensure that you take all of your personal belongings with you and also proceed with proper physical distancing. I'd like to thank everyone for attending physically and virtually, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.